Well, thank you again for meeting with me 3 times now. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen you last, so I wanted to, check up and see how everything's been going. I know last time we met, we introduced some new things that you could potentially do with Jaquavia, so I wanted to see how those have been and how our behavior's been, and if there's anything else that I can do. The purpose of this meeting is, after we talk, is to determine if we need any further meetings or if you feel that your skills from meeting with me are good enough to continue on with Jaquavia. But as always, regardless of what happens, is I'm here no matter what.
I appreciate that. Okay. So timing is everything. That we met on a Friday, so that Monday, she came into the room. The class filed in. She sat at her desk and could tell off right back it was going to be a bad situation. She was very defiant, had her arms crossed. If anybody would say anything, she would say the F-bomb, just off. So I addressed the behavior. I said, let's not swear. She just was very mad, started kind of yelling a little bit. So I kind of ignored her. She wasn't as loud, but she was still kind of making comments here and there. It was just a class that I could not just specifically sit down with her. I was telling you it's short classes, so I had to keep the process moving. So we were filing out, the bell rang, and I just, please stay a minute. And I said to her that I just discussed her behavior. I said, I see you're very upset today. I'm not sure what's going on. So I would like to talk to you about it, maybe after school. And right away, she said, you're failing me. And the light bulb went off in my head. So she was mad because she was failing. And I said to her, you're not failing. You just have a 0 in there. I did mark that it was a 0 with incomplete because you hadn't been doing the work for the last few days or whatever. I said, but I don't want that to be a 0. I want that to be 100 or 90. So I said, I'd love for you to come and make up that work. Or actually what I said to her was, you can make up that work. Then she said, how can I make up that work? And I said, you can come after school anytime. Can I come after school today? So I was like, absolutely. So that was good. So it also gave me an opportunity to kind of reflect on what had happened and how I was going to present it. It was kind of timing of everything. So she did come after school, which actually worked out really well because Mondays kids don't like to stay after for some reason. So she was by herself with me. So before we started, I had asked her to kind of just tell me what she thought had happened during class that, so to her point of view. And she looked a little sheepish. I think she realizes that her behavior was not good as is reflected in a lot of the meetings teachers have been having with her. She said she was just very upset that she knew that she got her grades and she saw that she had a 0. So we talked it through. I said, you've had the break cards to use with your, other classes in my class. And, and this is kind of an off topic. The school was getting rid of the break cards because some of the students, not Jaquavia per se, but some of the students were abusing them. So they're actually coming up with some behavior contracts for them, which worked out good. So I explained to her that I thought that if her and I could come up with some coping mechanisms within the class, but before we started, making up some of the work, did she have a few minutes to time to talk to me about that? And she was more than willing to. So I gave her the self-evaluation form, which she's completed. And then I also went over the behavior reflection sheet, and I explained to her what it was for. And I asked her to write down, the paragraph again. And she actually did that, which was nice. And I had her also reiterate it in her own words, what she thought it was, so it wasn't just her writing words down. And I did explain to her that I'm here to help her. I'm not her enemy. I'm here. I'm on her side. And I truly believe Jaquavia believes that because I think out of a lot of the staff around, I'm one of the ones that she feels comfortable with, which is maybe why she didn't use her break cards. Anyways.
So how did you think these went?
Oh, fine. I think she did good. She actually did them. She was like, okay, and she was filling them out pretty good. And we joked because one of them says writing on the furniture, and we laughed because we write on our furniture because we use it as and then we can erase it. The whiteboard markers work on our desk. But anyways, wow, she's like, you can do that. I said, yeah, this is kind of generic. Anyways, we could joke about that. So yes, that's how it went. That was that Monday. I've seen an improvement because that was Monday. We didn't we have the time frame we had. This took up most of it. We did one thing to make up a thing, and then she came the next day and brought a friend with her to make up some work. So, we're in the right direction. I think for her, it's just I don't know. I think I just need a little more, maybe some more ideas of just how to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Some more support ideas.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think, I don't know. We'll see. What do you think? How do you feel that?
That sounds really good. So you had mentioned that the school has implemented behavior, taken away the break cards and implemented a behavior contract. Yes. So when did that happen? That seems like pretty good timing.
Yeah, it was interesting because I had noticed a few of the girls that I knew were on the plan with the break cards hadn't been coming into where I sit where they come into, and they hadn't been coming in. So I didn't realize this was going on behind the scenes. At one of our meetings, it was mentioned that there was a few girls just abusing them. Like they really didn't need a break; they just wanted to leave the classroom because they were avoiding the work. Yeah. So they've kind of reinvented, or I should say reinvented. They kind of revisited how they wanted to move forward. So they were having behavioral contracts as opposed to break cards.
Okay.
Because each student was individually looked at and what their needs were.
And so, how do you think, since it's been 2 weeks, how do you think Jaquavia has reacted towards that behavior contract? You had said that her behavior seems to be getting a little bit better. Do you think that is a better fit for her?
I do. I think Jaquavia was probably one of the ones she was not abusing the break cards. She did mention, which was a shock to me, that she had something similar in middle school where she was able to leave if needed to go to talk to someone she trusted. So I think that now that she knows that we're all on her side and we want her to do well, I think she's coming around to it. She's been coming after school, it's only been 2 weeks, but I think a total of 5 days she's come after school, maybe that's 10 days, so it's 2 weeks, sorry. I think she came 4 or 5 times. She's been out of school the last couple days. Her mom said she fell and had slipped and hurt her back. So I'm hoping when she comes back on Monday she didn't ground a little bit. Absolutely. So I think what I wanted to do is before she even came into class on Monday was just address her injury, see how she's feeling, and say if you need any support during class, you need to let me know right away.
Yeah.
And maybe address the behavior before it happens. Yeah. If, anticipating that it may happen.
I mean, that sounds like a really, a great plan, especially for someone like her, just to show that you care about her. And that you're there for her and you're thinking of her. I think that will be really beneficial for her to know that you're on her side. It sounds like right now everything is going much better. Behavior is slowly starting to increase. We'll see what happens on Monday in terms of if she continues to improve or if she does regress. But I would say to continue with the behavior reflection sheets, and you can make it your own too if you feel like copying the paragraph isn't beneficial for her, but maybe her reflecting on her behavior would be more helpful. You can do that and refer to her student self-evaluation form. It seems like she has a pretty good insight on where she is. She has some great qualities, like she turns in found objects that aren't hers, and she knows that. But there's also some things that she has, like she talks in class. She always does that. So maybe just referring to those things and letting her know you're there for her. And I think that right now things are working, so we don't want to change anything too much and add too many things. The behavior contract is relatively new, so we don't really know if it's going to be working for now, but if you want to check in with me 2 weeks from now and let me know how that's going, and if the behavior is continuing to improve, then that sounds great, and if not, maybe we can meet again or talk on the phone or email to try to figure out another strategy for her at that time.
Sounds good. Thank you very much again for your help, and keep plugging along. Gotta get her to pass that Regents.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, whenever you need, I am email or phone call away, and hopefully things start to will continue to get better with Jaquavia.
Thank you very much again.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
You too.